Aloha. Welcome. Welcome to the Virgo new moon. A little early. We are a few days before the new moon. Here in the United States, we have a bank holiday on Monday, and it was requested by the group in the beginning when given a survey not to host any of the new moon gatherings on a Saturday or a Sunday, which is a weekend here in the United States. I do know we have goddesses in Australia and other parts of the world, one in Asia, and it's a different day altogether. So thank you for participating. This is our 13th moon gathering since we started. I am so blessed and fortunate to be going through and growing together with you. We gather every month here on the new moon or before in some cases, so you have enough time to prepare. We're heading into the month of Virgo, which is all about self-care. So hopefully this evening on a Friday night here in California, everybody is soaking up the last of summer or the last of winter if you're on the other side of the world. I'll just be patient here and give it a few minutes. I know there's a lot happening. And also Burning Man. So many of you goddesses reached out saying that you would be here in spirit. You're on the playa. And for those of you who are unaware of what Burning Man or the playa or Black Rock City is, please look it up. It's a counterculture. It has 10 principles. Radical reliance is one of them. It's really a vital state. It's a beautiful place. It's not for everyone to go and have an experience. However, here in Camp Envy, you can check out the webcast and listen to the radio stations live right now in a city that only lasts for 1 week. You could be like us, having the big screen TV playing like a window in time, watching another realm. It's very exciting, and all the burns will be recorded. So that's my little shout out for the Camp Envy on the playa for 2024. Curiouser and curiouser. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen. Let's just take a moment. There we go. Let's see here. Give me a second. I hope everybody can see that. Give me 1 minute. I'm going to see how this presents. Little slow. Thanks for your patience. Present in full screen. Does anybody see it? Give me a thumbs up. Present. Is it happening? I see a circle. Do you all see that circle? I hope you do. Thanks for your patience. Oh, it's coming. Here we go. Bravo. Welcome. Crafting the goddess, the modern goddess. Moonifesting, virtual, new moon gatherings. We've been meeting every month for the last 13 moons. Next, we will be starting at 6 p.m. next year, I should say. There we go. So go ahead, take a moment, and please honor the earth, where you're right in the chat box, where you're located. Honoring earth honoring and location share in the chat box. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians and owners of the land on which we circle today. The people of the Chumash and the nation of the United States here in California And I pay my respects to all the ancestral stewards of this land, elders past and present. Feel free to check out your native land, native-land at .ca, and you can type in your code and it'll punch in exactly who your custodians are and the native land. We're from the Chumash. I forgot to mention that. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Chumash. Each month, this is our flow. It's the ebb and flow like the tides. We have the welcome and intro. We go into an open circle. We'll review the cosmic overview of what's happening today, set intentions with everybody as a group, popcorn style, whoever's present. If you are remote, feel free to add your attention at your time when you're watching the video. Crafting, we'll do a card reading, and then the closing circle, the ebb and flow. Before every gathering, please gather your ritual items, what we're going to be using for today, which are going to be charging. Come in a state of empty presence. Please take responsibility for the energy you bring into the space. This is a safe container for everyone. My intention for this circle and for everyone here is we grow through what you go through. So over time, we will all learn about each other, whoever shows. So let's just take a moment. I'm going to stop the share and check in with everybody. See how we are. Right, so let's just take 3 deep breaths and imagine all the goddesses around you from your right side all the way over to your left side. And let's open circle. Please repeat after me. Around myself and those I love, I cast the ring past not. Only pure love and good come from me, and only pure love and good come to me. And so it is. Now imagine the golden light going around all of us as a circle. And if you'd like a little piece of extra protection for yourself, feel free to wrap your hands around in a big circle. And if you want, tie a little knot or a bow or a sacred symbol that represents you to protect you in your space. Welcome to Circle. You can find that poem. There we go. There we go. So let's go into the cosmic overview of the current energy of the planet and how it relates to us today. I'm sure everybody's feeling so much happening because the summer felt like this long, elastic rubber band, right? And you know when a rubber band gets stretched out and it's stretched out and stretched out, and then it like only has so much more room to go, and then you're like, well, how much energy do I have left in that stretch before it snaps, or room to grow before I need, an outdated rubber band? It's all morphed. It doesn't work anymore. You need a rubber band. It's like that elasticity of energy. I'm sure you're feeling it. It's like taffy. So I'm going to keep this up. Like I said, this very start, the themes for the 2024, it's a 20-year cycle. We're at the very, very, very beginning. Age of Aquarius. Okay, you see those asterisks? Super important. Super, super important. We have 3 passes in Capricorn, and the last pass is happening this month. It's very, very, very important that you recognize that this little teeny hole, this little teeny speck of something is going to be all about that past which we have been leaving. Okay? So I have the asterisk because it is the age of Aquarius. However, for a brief moment in time, like a couple minutes, we'll be in Capricorn. So it means we go back for just this much time. So be mindful when I say like your timeline of feeling like and I'll read my words because that keeps me on track. Year of the Dragon, same year of the Dragon. And the two things that you should be having all over your house and every post-it note. And I really hope I start getting photographs of people's post-it notes or dry eraser pens on their mirror because it's super fun to see the crazy fun. And then you can put it on the IG and say, hey, this is our theme for the year. I wonder what will happen next. Why am I so blessed? So let's go back. Whoop, back to center. You can tell Mercury is not in retrograde anymore. You get the flow. It's happening. Things are in motion. However, Saturn is still in retrograde. We still have a few planets in retrograde. Even though Mercury is not in retrograde, it went direct the other day, Thursday, yesterday. So Saturn is in Pisces. It's still about that energy, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, trusting the process of introspection and inner growth. You want to review and reconsider the beliefs, ideals, and reviews that define your life. Do the guidelines that you live by support your growth and well-being? You want to be patient by trusting the process. Now, let's talk about Pluto for a second. Capricorn, this is that final phase. So it will confront us once again with challenging issues, a turning point. Carefully reconsider or consider what you want to take from the old world into the new, because the new is still so new. It's so unknown. You have no idea. What you think is going to happen is not even possible, right? Like, so many things. So be really, really, really mindful during this time. It's a turning point, and be okay with that. So that little blip in time, that little piece, that hole is happening now. It's going to be happening next week. Okay. So back to Venus, putting relationships in the spotlight. You're going to be feeling the love energy, and Mercury is flowing. Let's see what we got. Keep going. Here we go. So new moon happens in a couple days on the holiday. The Virgo new moon, it's ruled by Chiron. Chiron is the wounded healer. Wounded healer. Well, what inside of you is wounded? What inside of you needs healing now? That's what this is all about. Chiron and Virgo are really all about navigating a new vibe. It requires thought. You know those Virgos, you hear people talk like, the stereotypes. Oh, Virgos, they're perfectionists. No, they're not just perfectionists. They're better than perfectionists. They find and see through what's broken and they want to fix it. So they make things better. So having a Virgo on your team for strategy or production or logistics, like they're going to make things better. They're going to always see through the cracks. So they're going to use thought. They're going to find balance. Virgo is a season about finding balance. It's all about finding balance with ourselves and then our surroundings. So it's inside, then outside. It's about cultivating a life that aligns with your higher purpose, whether it's through small acts of service, setting new goals, or simply being present in the moment. The season offers us a perfect way to ground, grow, and transform. The mind rules the thoughts, and we see through the cracks, just like I said. Our ideas about how things are supposed to work may actually block us from seeing right in front of our face. Make a plan, create a list, organize, declutter, clear out energy of the space and the mind. Breath work is great, walks in nature, all kinds of nature. Again, the playa is the perfect time to go to Burning Man or home, as they say. Let's welcome the season of clarity and purpose with open hearts and minds, ready to embrace the gifts and the lessons it brings. Generally speaking, physical low energy and defenses are weakened. So you really want to make sure you're eating a balanced diet and maintain a psychological boundaries. Really important because you're using a lot of your brain function right now. So Virgo, I analyze is the wounded healer. The organs in the physiological physical form in 3D are the pancreas, small intestine, sesame, colon, digestive tract, rectum, sense of the organs in the eyes and the ears. So this is like about digestion. It's how do you, this goes back to my business is called Feed the Craving. How do you think? What are you feeding your mind? What are you feeding your thoughts? What are you feeding your body? What are you feeding your emotions? How are you feeding your memories or your business? It's that digestion system in the mouth. 80% of the digestion comes from the chewing. So you really want to think about chewing more on something during this time. Self-healing, new moon, really big, really big. So it's you have a whole weekend to step into this energy. Doo doo. All right. So on our papers, I always feature what's happening in the bigger environment, and this is one of the things that's noted is the Uranus goes retrograde on the 1st until the 25th of January. So it's going to be a few months. And Uranus is the great awakener. So there's always irritation before awakening, right? Like you're going to feel a as one of my readings recently said, it's like putting sand down the bathing suit bottoms. You get like sand in your butt cheeks before the awakening. Very uncomfortable. Like who wants that? So again, the balance of there's a giving and a receiving. Both are personal practice and of self-discipline. You might want to review some things that you thought were resolved and make corrections. It's okay. Make the correction now. You're encouraged to contemplate how well your closest relationships nurture you. I'm going to repeat that. Contemplate how well your closest relationships nurture you. Do they fulfill your heart's desires and support you in practical ways? Or does the burden silently empty your bucket? This is that time. So you have a few months of that during as the sun here on the west side kind of goes away going into the dark season, you're going to be stepping towards the shadows into the dark times of year with that great awakener in with this consciousness. So keep that in mind. Take a little note, put it in your journal, remind yourself, give yourself permission to be okay to question that. What else we have? Coming up in September, again, we're just a few days early. We have another supermoon. Oh my gosh. You're going to hear a beef. Andy girl's got a beef. Fake news, goddesses. I'm reporting fake news. I hope you're laughing. Everybody's laughing. I see you. The last full moon, it was not a blue moon. Yes, supermoon. Except everywhere on the media, even people that call themselves professionals of the moon cycle were promoting blue moon. It was not a blue moon. A blue moon, as we repeated, takes 2 full moons in the same monthly cycle. If you look on your calendar and you look on the moon cycle and you go back to our very first session where we were able to plug in the subscription, we were able to see exactly the moon cycle. You will not see 2 full moons in your month. Sorry, fake news. That's right. I have a beef. You're gonna hear me bitch. Okay. Back to the full moon of next month. It is a partial lunar eclipse and it does start a wormhole season. Remember, a wormhole season's like a spinning diamond, bzzz, and you're gonna go in one facet and come out another. Another way to think of it is like Willy Wonka's elevator. So you've got Uranus in retrograde and you've got the wormhole. So there's a couple things happening there. It's also an extreme mystical quality. Truly is. This kind of time calls upon us to keep our eyes straight on our boundaries and limitations, not on the ball, but like where we are firm on our values and core values. Your inner life and outer structures need to be stable. You can receive vital impulses during these days, the fruits which we will be welcome in the coming weeks. Unstable situations and circumstances, on the other hand, may call for a fundamental reorientation. It will be clear. It's going to be that clear. The quality of time is ambivalent. You have as much time. You can make significant progress and easily accomplish many, many tasks. However, to do so, you must be willing to make the decision and do the necessary work without getting lost in the daydreams or the discussions. And women, let me tell you, sometimes when that day comes, you just want to talk. It builds oxytocin, it feels good, and you step out of the chicky nest and you feel great, but you really didn't get what you needed done. So, that you want to be mindful of. It's just part of the process of a Pisces energy. So the other thing that's happening is really special is we're stepping into the the final harvest. Uh, this is pretty exciting actually because this is the time of year when the shadows get longer, the sun and everything becomes equal. So Mabon or equinox, also autumn equinox here in the west. It would be a spring equinox other side of the world, which is beautiful as well. Mabon is a modern pagan ritual marking the equinox. It's a ritual that gives thanks for plentiful harvests and recognizes the needs to share the earth's fruits in the coming winter months. It's the second of 3 pagan harvest festivals, which includes Lammas and Samhain, which is also the solstice. So this is the time of year where you'll collect your seeds as things die for next year. You'll stuff that's at full fruit, you might flash freeze, you might create soups, you might breads, canning, pickling. This is the time. So all of the energy of the fruits are leaving the vine. The earth's energy is all coming back into the earth so it can rest, and this is that time. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful time to share. It's really a beautiful time to share. I love this time of year. I hope you have printed this out or created your own. Truly, for the rest of the year, this little sign is your disclaimer. Put it on your door, put it on your front door, put it on your office, put it on your notebook. Please take responsibility for the energy you bring into this space. So no one can give you lip, no one can give you drama. You can receive it if you want to, but you don't have to. If the sign is up, you've got your little bubble on all the time. Keep the bubble up. It's just going to make life so much easier. Okay, let's go ahead. I'm going to drop the share and see who's joined. How are we doing here? Check in. All right. So let's go ahead and set some intentions. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any. Um, just wanted to make sure I didn't miss anybody. I'm going to go back and share. So let's go ahead and share some intentions. So feel free to pull out your list of intentions. Think about what we got going on. Take 3 deep breaths. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. This is the sheet I was referring to just a minute ago. This sheet gets sent out. It's a PDF. You can populate it, you can print it. And as I say every month, the intention for this program is for you to have a book at the end of the year with your manifestations or moonifestations. Every moon, what's going on in the moment, what your intentions are, your habit reminders that you just kind of like want to note to self based on the cosmic. Maybe something came through for you and you just want to note down. These PDFs were created for you to use as an easy tool and have a book. What would you like to let go and release? And what habit would you like to bring in? So take a moment. And I have another opportunity here, PDF as well, offered in the portal online. And this is the steps to manifesting. And this is for that person who's new to manifesting and or maybe even not new, except maybe emotional or mental about a desired outcome and haven't figured out the chunking down process. So sometimes the chunking down process is really important. It's about really recognizing what the most important parts of your manifesting are. So this is a great tool. It worked for me. It got me starting on manifesting and it's the 3 easy steps. Step 1, if this, then and this, but this. So chunking down, it's the deletion of the negative. I know it sounds silly. The brain only works off repeating positive. So if you're focusing on negative, you're only going to get negative. You're not going to get what you're looking for. So the removing of that, this is that chunking down. It's a good tool. If you finally figure it out how to use it, you'll recognize how valuable it is. For those of you who don't need it, go, what is this? You're free to use what you like. So here we go. This is our modern moon cycle, crafting the modern goddess, and the monthly moon planner. Moon hygiene is so vital. It is absolutely vital for goddesses. Everything works in the feminine divine. We're stepping into, we've been in a feminine divine cycle, but we're really stepping into, for women and the power of the feminine divine to really recognize it. However, they're following they're not lunar tracking. They're solar tracking. There's this false sense of identity around the solar tracking. That's what we use our calendars around. So if we were to redirect our inner life and then our outer life with the moon tracking, with lunar tracking, it's a whole other cycle. And hopefully in the last 13 moons, you've learned something about that and you've recognized validation, you've had some form of experience. And I really wish upon a perfect lunar hygiene. I mean, really recognizing how the flow works for you. So here you can write lunar hygiene. And today, Virgo, why am I putting so much energy into this? Because the Virgo new moon is really about this. It's about setting these lists. It's about making sure you're clear on having a plan of action. So if you haven't been able to collect all of the craft the stuff for the crafts tonight, feel free to use this PDF. So let's go ahead and stop the chair for a second. See how we're doing. Oops. What happened? Oh, there we go. All right, so how we doing? Beautiful. All right. So, what will we let go and release? Let's take. What will I let go and release? What would I like to bring in? Old patterns, old, old patterns, and bring in structure, new structure, creative freedom and structure. There we go. What would you like to let go, release this month? What would you like to bring in? Let's take a moment. All right, I'll go ahead and continue the share. Beautiful. Let's just take a minute. All right. So for each month, you have an opportunity for modern goddess crafting. Here's a PDF I have for you for new moon intentions for your future, what you're grateful for now, and all of the recipe, like what you're using. Bay leaf, your ingredients, your salts, all your ingredients that you're going to be using, the recipe, how you're going to be doing it, what you're going to be doing and why. And then check in with your current body. What's your flow cycle? I don't bleed anymore, but that's okay. We're still working on the moon cycles. You can still say you know your sleep cycle. I was a little low on energy. You could check in with yourself. Feels like it's like low energy. And then there's a space on the bottom for when the end of the year book, which we're at the end of the year. And you can see in the next year when these manifesting from crafting was manifested. And you can write a date so we can measure our results. It's one of my best parts about science is measuring the results. So, oh, I'm missing some parts. Oh, wait, there we go. I know, it's silly. You can laugh at me. I see laughing. Okay, I know. Um, I had to do it that way. First of all, I think everybody here knows that the technical stuff is a little behind my time. Behind my time. That's funny. It came out that way. However, I really wanted to get the point across, and you'll hear in just a minute. So this month's crafting Virgo New Moon is all about the lunar hygiene, which you can use that list if you want instead of a piece of paper. It's also about measuring results and setting a plan, healing for action. So we have paper and a pen, and you could use the list too. So I'm going to give you two options. For those of you who are super, super, super creative, or you could do both options. It's totally cool to do all the options. So you take a paper and a pen, and where's my paper? Here we go. And you draw a circle, which is your moon, right? So then the moon has circles in it. but you don't put those circles in it yet. I'll go into it in just a second. So that's what we'll be using for the moon. We're going to be doing a little activity. But first, let's go ahead and take our salt. So we have salt. So let's just take a moment before we start. And we really want to clean our energy. So we can take our salt and we can do a couple different things. You can create a salt circle around you for protection and purity and clarity. Or you could take a couple, depending on where you're at, maybe you're driving. This is so be mindful of where you're at or at work. You can take a little salt and you can pinch it onto your head, clearing your crown chakra, throwing over your shoulder, clearing your space. You can make I have a circle of salt. I'm actually sitting in a circle of salt. So that's the best way to create and purify your altar space is creating a circle of salt, just in the future from now and anytime. So we're going to go ahead and take our salt. How am I on time? Okay, we're good on time. The other thing you can do if you don't have salt or flame or fire, for those of you who are crystal geeks, the selenite wand is also a great way to clear energy. It doesn't do the same thing because salt's an ionizer, but it does clear and it's like a nice little cleansing. So that's just an alternative. I just saw it sitting there, so it's a little something shiny. Squirrel. So I have a lit candle. It's hard to see it's lit, but it's lit. And bay leaf. So bay leaf is for purity and clarity. So I'm going to go ahead and take the flame. And let's light our candle. If you don't have a candle, let's go ahead and light it. I have another one right here. And for a minute, let's just take 3 cleansing breaths for the spirit, mind, body, positive, negative, neutral. Then take your bay leaf or whatever you have, sage or dry herb, maybe it's rosemary. You can burn. You can give yourself clarity. I'm going to go ahead and read something. Go ahead and just keep focusing on purifying and clarifying, self-healing. As we enter Virgo season, we welcome the energy of clarity, grounding, and growth. May we be guided to embrace the simplicity and purity in all that we do, nurturing our body, mind, and spirit with love and care. Help us to focus on the details that matter, to serve others with humility and to walk our paths with purpose and grace. May the season bring balance, healing, and a deeper connection to the earth and to the true selves. And so it is. All right. So let's just take a minute. How are we on time? All right, here we go. So you see, I go back to the Swiss cheese. I know. Back to the cheese. So who cut the cheese? We cut the cheese. I couldn't find a way to really show what it looks like if you were to cut into your
chakra system or your emotional body, your mental body. Except I always like to personally, from a healing habit when I do my work, is I say currency in motion. I can see these little bubbles of Swiss cheese, and it's like Swiss cheese. And I slice into the Swiss cheese, and I'm able to see these little bubbles. And then I can point out these bubbles to you. And of course, you know about these bubbles. It's not like you don't know about them. I think you're more shocked that I know about them. Okay, so that's generally what happens. So this process, like going back, you have two times. You can either write the circle on the paper, and this is your moon. And you know, back in the day when you'd see cartoons and they'd always show the moon as a big round thing of a Swiss cheese wheel. Well, that's where it got me this thinking, well, this is a Swiss cheese. So we're going to take a moon, or you could take the list if you're linear. That's totally fine with you. I have all these options, but you could draw a circle, and you know in your heart of hearts, in your mind of minds, in your spirit of spirits, what those holes are. You can write a couple holes in your circles here, and you can create your own moon of Swiss, the holes, and fill in the blank. What for you needs focus? What for you needs a game plan? What for you needs self discipline? What for you needs self care? And how do you know? Because in that Swiss cheese, when you're looking at this image and you see the dark parts, those holes, those are the ignored parts. That's the part you've ignored. You can see half circles. That's the one you capped into and you let some energy out, except it's still part of your chunk. So, what are those holes for you? What game plan of self healing and, maybe do it yourself, practice self discipline, decluttering? What is it for you? How are you going to create clarity? What kind of hygiene is going to be happening for you this month? So let's just take a moment. I'll stop the share. Just breathe into that. Feel free to fill out your forms. What for you is on your list? I had the optional thing if you wanted to share what you brought, and just write in the chat box and I will be happy to unmute you. Excuse me. Got a little slurpy there. What for you is on your list in your bubble of Swiss cheese? Yeah. All right. How are we doing? No rush. Have a few minutes. All right. Feel free to share if you like. It's okay. It's a list. I know. You don't need to share your list. There is a Facebook page. All right. That's okay. Let's continue. We can do a reading tonight. Beautiful.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and pick a card. Oh, sorry, guys. Girls, goddesses. Let's go ahead. Do what the reading says. Give me a second. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pick from the 13 moon oracle because it is our 13th moon, and I'm so very grateful for this very thick, wonderful expression of oracle. It's one of my faves, and always with the raw silk cloth. And this is what the cards look like on the back side. So let's go ahead and take some breaths in. All right, so let's close my eyes. Feeling it. Give me a thumbs up. This one feels good. Ooh, this is so good. Okay, ready? The Dream Weaver. This is so freaking good for us right now. Look at that. Look at this planets in the sky. Look at the way the web is going with the solar system. She's driving a boat with the karmic wheel. Look at that goddess. Oh my goodness, is that so cool? Okay, let's see what we got here. The dream, the weaver, the dreamer. Oh, let me correct myself. The weaver, the dreamer. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, let's see what we got. So again, this deck is really cool because it's got these little symbols, and that's how I can tell what phase of the goddess it's in. And last month we had a different phase, so we've escalated into our phase. The oracle for the archetype of the weaver, the dreamer. I dream, I connect, synchronicity, vision, oracle, overview, intuitive, leaps, star kindred, affinity, conscious dreamer, sacred gover governance, connections, and being received. So good. Uh, Receiving the Weaver in your reading alerts you to paying close attention to seeing coincidences in your daily life that are actually indicators of your essence getting your attention, your essence getting your attention by playing synchronicity harmonics when seemingly unrelated events are connected to by. Give me a second. My eyes are playing tricks on me, so let's correct that. There we go. When seemingly unrelated events are connected by impact or meaning, you're experiencing synchronicity, such as thinking about a friend and having them call you at that moment. That is the extreme increased synchronicity you will be experiencing as you awaken. It demonstrates the quantum patterns. It connects the illuminated lights. It's like a pinball game. If you have felt your life is different or you've been feeling like a stranger in a strange land, you want to take heart. The heart of the mandala is being visible, reconnected, and you will be reconnected with it. This archetype alerts the star kindred that you are being drawn toward each other like an iron filling magnet, the law of affinity, like vibration attracting vibration. And I don't and don't be concerned. It's actually a good sign. Everything is being stripped away, but it's
the unknown. It's a sharp shuttle shards of definitions and detangling remains that are lying everywhere unraveling patterns. The Spider Woman, the conscious dreamers, must have mythic lineage. This card reminds you that you're being supported in bringing out those unique created gifts and the capabilities you've been hiding for fear of ridicule and rejections. It is not a hologram. That's cool. It is not a hologram. Hmm. The dreamer, the weaver. I dream, I connect. I dream, I connect. All right. What a way to offer the 13th moon. Whew. Very cool. Whoops. Give me 1 second. I'll go ahead and share. Oh, so just take a moment and I just want to say thank you for everybody for showing up for the last year, almost a year, 13 moons. It's been such a pleasure, and I look forward to sharing this time and space with you again. So let's just take a minute and honor each one of us who's been encircled today and every day, whether you're here in person or remote. Let's take 3 deep breaths in. On the third breath, we'll do a nice big om. Please repeat after me aloud in your own space. The circle isn't broken. May the peace of the goddess stay in your heart. Merry meet and merry part, and merry meet again. Namaste. Thank you very much. It was wonderful sharing space with you. I just want to remind you that this is our last one for this year. However, the next session starts on the 1st of October, and it's pretty spectacular time. Again, we're going right into eclipse season. It's at a new time, 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's a half hour later for everyone in all time zones. Hopefully that works out better. It was requested, so hopefully that works better for everybody. And here we go. Here's a QR code. Just as a reminder, we have new sessions. There'll be 13 moons. We'll be meeting every new moon from the next 13 moons starting October 1st, 6 p.m. Pacific time, new times. All the same things. We'll be having PDFs, crafting, um, the monthly cosmic. You'll be able to create a book at the end of the year with your incredible moonifesting. And let's see. I'm going to stop the share and just say thank you very much. I am so ever blessed to have all of you in my life. And I love the goddesses, the moon, and when we connect, and when we as goddesses connect, we can change the world. It's proven in every text in history, in all biblical forms, in every style and shape. Women connect, we follow the moons, and we can change the world. Thank you very much for being a part of my world. Make it a fabulous, fabulous Virgo new moon, and I look forward to seeing you next month
October 1st on the eclipse. Namaste.